The mountains are calling, and they are closer than you think. Welcome to the Georgia Mountain Fair in beautiful Lake Chatuge. Two of my favorite things in life are water and a warm fire. Join us for a trip to North Georgia and a look back as we move forward. Almost 75 years ago, the Georgia Mountain Fair began welcoming visitors to the beautiful Towns County area. The general manager, Hilda Thomason, works tirelessly to book great talent, amazing vendors, and many wonderful reasons to visit Towns County. Barbecue or beef stew, there are often cooking competitions and wine tastings. Located on the shores of Lake Chatuge and at the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, we encourage you to get to know the area of North Georgia, minutes from Tennessee and the North Carolina line. The hills are filled with folks who still believe in life as taught by their ancestors, canning, gardening, and preserving the bounty of the land. Let's travel back to the days of yesterday with a trip through the Pioneer Village. Take a look at the old post office, schoolhouse, and the log cabin, much like your ancestors may have called home. Children love to visit the exhibit hall with the old tools and see the large collection of toy tractors. Learning the ways of the past often help us preserve it as we embrace the future. Washing clothes in the creek or hanging your ham in the smokehouse give you a sense of how hard the generations before us worked. Blacksmith, moonshine still, or quilting are all a part of the past scene during the summer fair or the fall festival. Let's take a trip down memory lane as I step into my favorite spot at the Georgia Mountain Fair. Wow, welcome to Anderson Music Hall and the Georgia Mountain Fair. I feel like I'm standing on sacred ground. This stage has welcomed so many amazing legends in music, from the Beach Boys to Loretta Lynn to George Jones to Merle Haggard, Gene Watson, Charlie Pride, you name it. There have been so many amazing talents standing right here where I'm standing. So I want to welcome you to sit down for about an hour. We're going to do a little bit of music. We're going to do a little bit of memories because the Georgia Mountain Fair is about to be 75 years old, and we want to celebrate them, celebrate all they've done for the state of Georgia, all they've done for music, and all they've done for families who have come here for almost 75 years enjoying just a little mountain life. How many of y'all have got grandkids, especially little boys, that would love to spend the day looking at all of this stuff that's just boy stuff, girl stuff, kids stuff, old folks stuff? There's something for everybody. There's just something in there for everybody because somebody's going to say, hey, my grandpa had one of those, or hey, my daddy had one of those, or hey, when I was a kid, I used to help Dad with one of those at the wood shop. I used to help to make syrup with one of those. There's so many things that will bring you back to your childhood or your grandparents' home. And you know what? I was thinking about, I don't know if we got any footage of the moonshine stills because Georgia is known for moonshine. And my granddaddy and his brothers made shine for years and years and years. That's how they fed their family. It isn't how they did anything illegal. It's how they fed their family, and that was a way of Georgia. And you will see things that show the way they got through those hard times. And they got through those hard times the best way they could. You know, if it weren't for these mountains and those moonshine runners, there wouldn't be a NASCAR today. So if you're a NASCAR fan, you better find you an old-time moonshiner and say, hey, bud, thank you for doing what you did, because you got us out now on these big old tracks and we're racing really fast now. But when you think about the past and rural Georgia, whether it be South Georgia, North Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, rural areas really did create the hardest working people ever. And it's something maybe we ought to go back to some of those work ethics today because it was hard, it was tough. You slept good because you worked hard. You didn't have to worry about, Lord, I can't sleep tonight. You slept plenty good because you were tired. Folks worked hard, they produced what they ate, and they didn't do it with that big fancy equipment. They did it with some stuff with mules, and many people had a huge garden, and that's how they fed their family, and they did it with tools that you're seeing now. And that's what it's about. It's about remembering the past, being appreciative of the future. So we are trying to take you on a trip that will truly embrace, remember, and treasure the past as we move into the future, because the future is very different. Very different. Have y'all seen any iPads or iPhones in this display? No, you have not. You have not, but you have seen an amazing collection of what America once was. Now I'm going to take you now to a song that I owned a restaurant for years. And by the time Friday night came, I was tired and I was war-slapped down and I was ready for a little bit of rest. And the girls fuss at me and they say, oh no, she's going to turn that jukebox up and she's going to play that John Conley song. Of course I did. Friday Night Blues.
All right, here's a song that both we guys and you ladies can relate to, well, around a certain time of the week, end of the week, specifically Friday night. He's been working all week, he's got mental fatigue, and that old couch sure looks fine. All week he's been gone, she's been sitting alone, slowly going out of her mind, as he kicks off his shoes for the 6 o'clock news. She's getting all prettied up, she's wanting to boogie, and he wants to lay there, and she's got the Friday night blues. Oh, those Friday night blues, they get in your shoes, and they work to get you down. But there ain't a lady that I ever knew who didn't need her a night on the town. But the hills and the bills and the week full of deals has got him feeling you. While he's kicking his shoes off, she's putting hers on, 'cause she's got the Friday night blues. Hank Walther on the keyboard right there. Oh, there once was a time she was top of the line. Her nights like teenage dreams. Now it's operas at noon, dancing around with a broom, talking to the washing machine. Oh, the girl down the street says her husband is neat and makes it sound so true. Now she's feeling lonely, thinks she's the only one with the Friday night blues. Oh, those Friday night blues, they get in your shoes and they work to get you down. But there ain't a lady that I ever knew who didn't need her a night on the town. But the hills and the bills and the week full of deals has got him feeling you. While he's kicking his shoes off, she's putting hers on, 'cause she's got the Friday night blues. Oh, those Friday night blues, they get in your shoes and they work to get you down. But there ain't a lady that I ever knew who didn't need her a night on the town. But the hills and the bills and the week full of deals has got him feeling you. While he's kicking his shoes off, she's putting hers on, 'cause she's got the Friday night blues. All about the Friday night blues. Thank you.
Another great part of Appalachia is certainly the amazing music that came from the front porch after a Sunday dinner. Folks would gather round and strum a guitar or pick a banjo. The hills of Georgia played a huge part in bluegrass and country music. Many of those musicians have stepped foot on the stage here at Anderson Music Hall. Talent contest, bands opening for the many great acts like Merle Haggard, Charlie Pride, Loretta Lynn, or Billy Joe Royal. The mountains and the music go hand in hand. Anderson Music Hall is often filled with the sounds of the legends of the music world.
Welcome to beautiful Hiawassee, Georgia. We are at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds in Anderson Music Hall, one of my favorite locations to interview legends. Today I am with a true legend. I've waited a lifetime to interview Charlie Pride. He has 36 number one hits. He is one of those guys I listen to all of my long life. I'm now 63 years old, and I'm happy to say all the periods of my life, there was never a time that your music wasn't touching me. Thank you for doing this interview, and thank you for fighting the Atlanta traffic to get here, because you fought the traffic, didn't you, honey?
Every time he decided maybe we ought to go this, it goes like this for a little while. He said, 2 miles up will be workload.
No way around the Atlanta traffic. You are a little bit older than me, and we're not going to disclose your age, but you're a little bit older than me. I'm still very active and on the go all the time, and it really does help keep my mind focused. Your mind is on so much. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to your interview. You love baseball. You love traveling. You love performing. You love your grandchildren. And I understand that you're going to leave here tonight and go back to Texas to do some things with your family. Charlie, how do you do all of this?
Well, I don't know, but I just do it. I mean, I try not to get all sideways about anything, and I just, if it's going to be, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. Like,
right.
I'm late here, but we're still doing this, what we're supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this, what I was supposed to do prior to getting here, but I've got to go pretty soon. I'm going to have to dress and go do the show.
Right.
But I'm not gonna squinch and scrunch about it. I mean, I'm gonna do both of them.
You gotta do it.
So I don't know, other than I just try to do it.
Did you ever wake up one morning and say, there's one more thing I want to do? Is there anything that you haven't accomplished you would like to accomplish?
Oh yeah, there's so many things. I'd like to make the world a little bit better place than I've already done. I think I've done a pretty good job, because I've got so many fans that love my singing and have treated me so fine and kind, but it's always another plateau. I mean, and I figure the Lord let me stay here for some reason, and I mentioned it earlier that I think it's better to just get up and lay down, get up and eat and sleep and lay down. I think it's always felt that there was something more to it than just that.
Right. I would think you were an overachiever, because you don't just do, you do, then you overdo. Have you passed it on to your children?
Well, I tried, but I don't know whether I've done it. I've spoiled a lot of, especially my daughter.
Surely not. Angela, you have a daughter named Angela.
Oh, boy, she wears me out.
Yeah, I had a daughter named Angela, and a very special young lady. So.
Yeah, well, she's special, but don't do no thing on that. We're gonna do whatever.
He's trying to get my attention, isn't he? He'll tell you right quick. I don't usually pay attention to him, but I can tell you something about your music. I don't know anybody who wasn't touched by some of it. And we were talking yesterday about our favorite songs. And we all had such different ideas of favorite songs. My favorite is All I Have to Offer You Is Me.
That was my first number one.
I absolutely fell in love with that song, and I wore it out playing it. Does Charlie Pride have a favorite song? Is there one? Which one?
Yes, the one I'm singing at the moment.
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's not just I'm making an answer, but it's the truth. For example, we go to Ireland, and we have to kind of change not change, but interchange songs. For example, Crystal Chandeliers was never a single, but I've been doing it in my show all these years. When I go to, they released it in Ireland as a single about 2 or 3 times. I get ready to do that song. It's oh, the crystal, the walls tremble.
Oh, wow.
So I'm loving doing that song.
Yeah.
I go to Australia and New Zealand. They got on the wings of a song. So I love singing it when I'm singing out.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm singing at the moment wasn't just said out of trying to be smart about it. It's the truth.
That's it.
And I've been blessed with being able to do songs from albums that people love more than they do what you said a moment ago, what you like. All I Have to Offer You Is Me was my first #1 single. Because there's people that go in that album and they pick this one out and they pick that one out.
Right.
And the reasons for that is Jack Clement. Because he said, no, we're going to go put All I Have to Offer You Is Me and then do Kiss an Angel Good Morning, just throw a whole bunch of songs around. We're going to do songs that everything we do, we think that could be a single. If it's an A song, we make it a double A. If it's a double A, make it a triple A. So we just don't do songs to just throw them in to fill up the album.
Right.
So I think that's why I have sold so many albums. I only had 1 million selling single, and that was Kiss an Angel Good Morning, but I've sold I don't know how many albums.
How many couples do you think started their romance with that song on the radio?
All I Have to Offer You Is Me?
Oh, no, Kiss an Angel Good Morning.
All of
I
them.
know what women
Both of
feel.
them.
Yeah, well, I know what women feel when they're listening to that song.
I
what they
just
feel.
received an email from a lady says, we were going to school, high school, and we loved one another, but we broke up and we came back together. Now we've been married 35 years. Your song, All I Have to Offer You Is Me, brought us back together. Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break for just a minute because we're going to have to end this quickly because you were running late, and my cameraman's giving me a signal, and I don't know what it means. So we're going to find out. Okay, we're going to take a break for just a second.
One of the main men of all time in the Country Music Hall of Fame. That's right, superlatives. Yes. How about a hand, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Charlie Pride? Where are you, Mr. Pride? Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Ever I chance to meet old friends on the street, they wonder how does a man get to be this way? Always got a smiling face, anytime at any place. And every time they ask me why, I just smile and say, you got to kiss an angel good morning, and let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, and love her like the devil when you get back home. People may try to guess the secret of our happiness, but some of them never learn that it's a simple thing. The secret I'm speaking of is a woman and a man in love, and the answer is in the song that I always sing. You got to kiss an angel good morning, and let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, and love her like the devil when you get back home. Kiss an angel good morning, and let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. Lord.
That's about right. That's the way it's supposed to be right there.
What a great visit with the one and only Charlie Pride. So thankful for the Anderson Music Hall and the greats who stepped on that stage for over 70 years. A couple of 100 feet from Anderson Music Hall is the campground and the shore of Lake Chatuge. Eli Phillips took us on an awesome tour. It's hot today, so let's cool off with a fresh mountain breeze and the crisp, clear water as we enjoy a daycation. Welcome to beautiful Lake Chatuge, and we would love to introduce you to our driver, and our driver is...
My name is Eli Phillips.
And Eli Phillips is not only a boat driver, he is a pilot. So are you going to take us up in a plane next time?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, I've never been in a little plane. I don't know about that, Eli. We'll have to think about that. Thank you for everything today. Now you work, and tell me a little bit about your job and your company.
So I work at a marina on this lake called Lake Chatuge Marina, and we're actually on one of our rental boats right now, and we mainly rent boats. We also sell them and we store them and have wet slips on the dock you can put them in, and we also sell gas on the lake. So we are always busy doing something.
Did the boys are y'all enjoying this just a little bit? Are y'all thinking maybe this is the most spoiled we've ever been?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Trace is chowing down on KFC, and we might say we had to fight to get that chicken because the place was crowded and understaffed, and Lord have mercy, we're so proud of it, and Colonel Sanders is so proud we got it. But when we think about, we're only, an hour and 40 minutes from Atlanta?
Yeah, hour 40, 2 hours of traffic.
Yeah. Why don't people come here instead of going to Florida? For goodness gracious, this is peace, it's calm, it's absolutely refreshingly beautiful. Why would you go to Florida?
I don't know.
They ain't using their brain.
No, they ain't.
There's the answer. There's the answer. Yep. Y'all ain't using your brains. This lake, what'd you tell me, 7,000 acres?
That's right.
7,000 acres, and it fronts Georgia and North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful atmosphere. This is on a Monday, y'all. You can come Monday through Thursday. You can rent one of these beautiful pontoons, bring your family, hang out, enjoy every single moment of the peace and quiet of this lake. You know the one thing I haven't heard here, and this is unusual, I don't hear any birds chirping. Do you normally hear birds chirping?
In the mornings.
In the mornings, okay. Now you live on the lake.
I do.
Yeah, so tell us how great lake life is.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Trace, how's chicken life?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I love KFC.
He loves KFC. We could not do this. We could not show up on this beautiful pontoon without a picnic from KFC. When we look at how people are spending their lives, and everybody's so stressed and so worried about the economy and so worried about the election, worried about all these things, when literally you can put all that aside and you can come to Lake Chatuge, rent a boat, rent a cabin, stay 4 days, and you go back to work refreshed. Mm-hmm. Absolutely refreshed. Now, if people want to get in touch with y'all, how far in advance do they need to rent a boat?
So that all depends. Weekends are usually a little busier, so you probably have to rent a couple days in advance. If we have availability, you can walk onto the dock and do the paperwork and get on the boat the same day. Mm-hmm. But you can rent. We have rentals 3 months in advance. So the earlier the better to a certain extent. But if you just decided you were going to come up here and rent a boat one day, that is definitely possible.
Yeah. And you are located right across the street from the Georgia Mountain Fair.
We are.
And that's why we're here, because we are celebrating the almost 75th anniversary of the Georgia Mountain Fair. And when we think about the many, many times I've been here, I hate to admit this is the first time I've ever been on this water. I've always taken photos of the lake behind the campgrounds, and we've always said, oh, that looks cool, it looks like fun, but we never took the time to do it. We need to tell people, just take a day. This would be a daycation. If you live in Atlanta, you could leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, be up here by 9, get your boat, go out and spend the day, and have a daycation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And be back in your own bed that night. Yeah. So, hey, it doesn't get any better than that. Mm-hmm. Now, tell us a little bit about your phone number and how people would reach y'all.
So our phone number is 706-896-2835, and you can do that. We also have a website, lakechatugemarina.com, and you can call us and rent, and you can rent a boat online as well on the internet, and it'll be sitting down there when you get here.
Oh, it's exciting. This really is, truly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work next week, guys. I may to take about 3 days of a vacation. Oh, okay. I may have to do a staycation.
Yeah,
I may have to do a staycation. And come here now, what months of the year are you open? What time is best to call?
Best to call from May till about September, because that's our busiest time. The water will be up normal where it is now, and there'll be people down on the dock the whole time. We rent boats as early as April through like October, but the weather's not quite as warm yet, but May through September is perfect up here.
Now, do people, one thing I haven't seen on this lake, do people ski on this lake?
They do.
Okay, because we haven't seen that today, but of course it's a quiet day because it's on a Monday. Yep. So, yeah. Now, as a kid, did you attend the Georgia Mountain Fair?
I did.
Do you remember some of the first people you saw there as far as concerts? Do you remember any of the concerts?
Not really any of the concerts. I don't go to many of those. We do come out on the lake a lot, and was parked down below the concert venue, and if the doors are open, you can hear it really well. I've been doing that a lot.
Yeah. Well, this is, honestly, Towns County, and we talk about this all the time. Towns County welcomes people from different nationalities, from every state in the union, and I've interviewed people who have been coming here over 30-something years. Every single year they come and they say, hey, we have to go to the Georgia Mountain Fair. It's an important part of Georgia economy because people stop. If they're coming out of Florida, they start spending money all the way up through Georgia until they get to Towns County when they arrive at the Georgia Mountain Fair. So the Georgia Mountain Fair means a lot to a lot of people, and it helps the economy of the whole state of Georgia.
It does.
And I don't think people really realize that because you think about gas stations, restaurants. It's just like us when we stopped at that KFC. What town were we in, guys? Blairsville? Blairsville. It was busy. And it was the only KFC within any radius that we could stop at because we had to have the Colonel on the boat. That's just part of Southern tradition. You get you a bucket of fried chicken and you go to the lake. And what better lake than Lake Chatuge?
Yeah. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Me neither. No. And you know what's so beautiful? The water today is absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like you colored the water because you knew we were coming. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Now tell me about this pontoon because this is a beautiful one.
So this pontoon right here is a 2023 Sunchaser Eclipse. It's a 24-foot boat that's rated for 13 people. This one in particular is powered by a Yamaha 150 horse outboard. We also have 175 horse outboards that are available. And they're very nice. We keep them in brand new shape. When these get at the end of this year, the 2023 models will be sold off.
Wow.
More 2025.
Wow, and it looks brand new. Yeah. It absolutely looks brand new. This is crazy. Now, and tell folks it's about what, $4.95 a day?
That's around that. Gas, whatever you burn, you'll have to pay for that. So you could realistically $550 a day. That should cover everything, if not a little less.
Yeah, that is incredible. That is so awesome. And what a way to bring your family. And you talk about a place where you can park out in the middle of the lake. The kids can jump off and go swim. And tell me the depth of the lake in different areas.
In different areas, right now where we sit is 47 feet. Over there closer to the dam, it'll get over 100 foot. Also, there are places that get shallow, little sandbars you can go to that get down to 5, 10, 15 feet. Just, it's varying for whatever you prefer.
And one of the great things about your boats is they come fully equipped so you know what the depth is. You know to watch and to guide the boat accordingly.
That's right. All of our boats are hooked up with a GPS. It shows you where you're at on the lake. It shows your depth, and it also highlights water that might be too shallow to drive in. That's all highlighted on the GPS, so you can watch that and not really worry about tearing anything up.
There you go. Now, you know something? We hadn't talked about fishing on this lake. Are there fish in this lake?
There are fish in this lake. There's a lot of bass fishermen out on this lake. Also, a lot of people fish off the dock for little bluegills and bass and catfish as well. There's a lot of that.
What's the biggest catfish you ever saw come out of here?
Probably a little over 3 foot.
Wow. So that's about a 30-footer. I mean, a 30-pounder.
30-footer, yeah.
30-footer, yay. That's almost as big as the boat. So what about when people come here to stay, do they then get addicted and they come and buy a second home?
They do.
You find most people visit and then they just can't wait to get back?
Yep, they do.
Yeah.
Especially with the boat rentals. Everybody's telling us now, well, we were here last year and we loved it. We're coming back.
Yeah, that's incredible. It is so beautiful. It is so pretty. And you know, when Hilda and I talk about the Georgia Mountain Fair, we always try to include everything that's around here. And never once did we think about coming out on a boat. And then the other day, I guess I told y'all, wouldn't it be cool if we could go out on a boat when we were videoing the dock?
Yeah.
And it just made sense, because this is another part of me that I'd never shared with our viewers, because I'd never done it. And so now, everybody, I'm going to tell y'all, save your lunch money. Don't go anywhere and waste a dime and spend it on a boat. And that's a daycation. It's a daycation. And this boat holds 13. Where's the kitchen?
Well, we don't have a kitchen. There are.
What are we going to do? That's why we stopped at KFC. There's the kitchen. There's the kitchen. Yay.
There's a couple restaurants on the lake as well.
Where you can park the boat and go to?
You can park the boat and go. There's a couple restaurants and a couple bars that you can go to.
Yeah. Look at that. Now, they look like they're having fun.
Yeah, they do.
You know, it would be fun if the boys threw me overboard, but it would be really hard
Well, that's
to
your
get me
cue
back
now.
in. Yeah. Well, this is a wonderful way to spend a day, and I hope that we've encouraged y'all. You know, we tell everybody, you can smoke, you can drink, you can do whatever it takes to calm your nerves. Let me tell you, this is what it takes to calm my nerves. A day on Lake Chatuge. This will do it for you, and I hope that you will pick up the phone and call these guys and book yourself a boat and come up to the Georgia Mountain Fair. Now, we're going to go back to the fairgrounds in just a little bit, and we hope that you will spend some time getting to know the Georgia Mountain Fair and the beautiful area known as Hiawassee. Wow, what awesome scenery, and honestly a place of peace. I will have to name this place Sanity. Head over to Lake Chatuge Marina and rent a pontoon and just relax.